Now let's dive deep into this big LGBT story for today. I'm Larry Farver, and let's clear up trans health. Why did the LGBT chair of Equality Caucus Representatives Chris Pappas vote no on trans health care? Outrage is growing after Representative Chris Pappas, a gay Democrat from New Hampshire, supported the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA. NDAA is a military spending bill that restricts health care access for transgender children of military families. The $895.2 billion NDAA passed the House with bipartisan support, 281 to 140, but included a controversial provision barring Tricare, the military's insurance, from covering gender-affirming care for minors. Pappas, the only queer representative in Congress to vote for the bill, is facing criticism as his vote wasn't needed for this passage. LGBTQ advocates, including co-chair Representative Mark Pocan, chair of the Equality Caucus, have denounced the bill, calling it harmful to trans kids and military families. In defense, Pappas told the advocate, quote, "I strongly oppose the riders that Speaker Johnson included in the NDAA that would eliminate insurance coverage for military family members. I will continue to fight for full equality for all members of the LGBTQ plus community, including transgender Americans, and my record in Congress demonstrates that," end quote. The bill now moves to the Senate, where Democrats aim to strip the anti-trans provisions before it reaches President Biden, who has vowed to protect trans children. However, his stance on signing the bill with such provisions remains unclear. Well, I hope he does it soon. I mean, we're 2 weeks or so from the end of the year. Hopefully this goes through. I'm definitely a strong supporter of trans rights, and I'll do anything that I can to support our trans brothers and sisters. What does everybody think?
This breaks my heart. It does. It totally breaks my heart. How is it that a military person is going to give their life and dedicate their life and their world to servicing this country, right? And fighting for this country. And then you're going to tell me that you're not going to support their trans kid by getting the gender affirming care that they so need. The AMA, the American Medical Association, the Trevor Project, I can go on and on. The data is very clear. Gender affirming care is what helps trans youth not think about committing suicide. Okay?
And this is even the therapeutic side of things that they're talking about not covering. My question is how did you strongly oppose these discriminatory riders with that statement? Like, was that seriously it? I just want to hope that our allies on the other side of the aisle have a better plan to strongly oppose.
Wait a minute. See, here's the problem. This is a really difficult situation in everybody's point of view. This bill has 400 and some odd pages where they're putting everything and anything from farm equipment to the transgender kids. The problem I'm having with this is, and I think the representative is trying to sit there and saying, look, I'm going to take my time to do the right thing. I'm just getting the dollar figure passed so that we don't have a shutdown of the United States government, so that we can dissect and we can pick and choose the language and the the additional information to dissect and surgically remove. The problem I'm having, though, is we're holding up $900 billion worth of money that needs to be going to the military and other causes over something that affects probably 100 children.
Well, I would say get prepared for these types of bills, because they're going to add legislation into bills that they know that Democrats in their seats have to vote for. The reason he had to vote for it, even though the bill didn't need it, is because when he goes to run for re-election, there's funding in there for the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, which is a $1.9 or $5 billion boon to the state of New Hampshire, a small state that does not have a lot of commerce and things of that nature. If he votes against this, he's not going to be the LGBTQ representative in New Hampshire. So I think we have to give yes, none of us sitting at this table, including the representative, think that the part about healthcare for trans kids, but it's also not the bill to do that. And there's also a probability, again, if there's discriminatory practices in healthcare that come as a result of this bill, that they could be overturned. So he would lose by voting against it, and also the state of New Hampshire would probably come at him.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that you have to vote against the entire bill, but there are a lot of other ways to oppose it in terms of the authorship, how the bill is coming together, how you talk about the bill before it comes out to the floor, not just in a kind of post-passage advocate interview. That to me is not really strongly opposing.
Well, I mean, he has also, we have to say, has done a lot of good work for the LGBTQ community. So again, I think we're in a place where we're going to have, they're going to set us up for having to tear each other down by saying, oh, we're going to come at this representative because he's not, doing enough for the LGBTQ community, when we don't have enough LGBTQ legislators. We just talked about that. We don't have enough of us out there to even be representative of our population. We don't have 10 to 12% in Congress, which is what we should have if we were representative of the population. So we have to give some grace in the space of like, yes, are they going to always have the right way to do this? I don't think so. But he also stated in here there's funding for pay raises for junior service members that are on food stamps to help feed their families. So there's LGBTQ children who are getting fed from their military families are getting a pay raise. So, there's a lot of other things we have to look down the scale of saying, yes, this was not the bill for LGBTQ, but it was also not designed to be in a defense bill, but that's how they're going to, and they're going to keep doing it because now they're writing the bills. Like he could write all the bills he wants, but his bill's not going to get to be voted on.
It's not going to pass.
It's not And this is where the allies and everybody comes together. The experienced politicians, the senior politicians know when and how to surgically pull out the different pieces and parts that mean nothing to the bill other than an opportunity for the other side to go, see, you voted against it. See, you did this. See, you did that. Yeah. Well, we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. So I'm giving the gentleman grace because he has a history and he's intelligent. Yeah. But, I'm not going to hold my breath and get all upset because
we have to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah. We're not looking at
is that what you were going to say, Larry? Is that what you were thinking?
Yes. And I think as a community, we can agree to disagree. We don't all have to necessarily be on the same page, but we can't let the right tear us apart.
Yeah, it's tough because it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, because where I sit, it's like if we all don't have freedoms and rights, then what's the point?
Well, even the headline of this story, which again, I'm, saying is that what it does is it says like there's a white male legislator that's voting against trans people, which is not really exactly what he's doing. Yeah. And I think that's where we get the division where we're saying, the gay community doesn't support the trans community when that's not the case. Yeah. It's that he had to vote to fund the military so that the entire country could be safe. That's part of it.
Yeah, and like you said, they want us to tear each other down.
And we have to remind people this is the same party, the Republican Party, who is pro-family, who's now taking rights away from families and making medical decisions for their families. Yeah. And not being able to feed themselves because they're on food stamps. And, Democrats kind of fail at that little reminder game. We need to do the reminder.
Yeah, more often.
So that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.